Mohammed Qissi, such an honor to get you on the channel. Finally, I knew it was only a matter of time.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me.
You had such a tremendous impact on those films from the 80s and 90s in the martial arts genre, especially with Jean-Claude Van Damme. And we want to get the story because we all seen you in the movies, but some people may not know how much of an impact he had behind the scenes in helping the creation of these films.
Um, I mean, maybe some people don't know me, so I'm going to present myself first. What do you think?
Yes, we all know you as Tong Po and Kickboxer, but that's not even how you look like in real life because of all the prosthetic makeup and everything else. But I want to start at the very beginning with your martial arts training, your boxing training before you even met Van Damme. So let's get that story from the very beginning.
You got it. You got it. You have some time?
Plenty of time. I'm making sure I'm turning this phone off and there's no distractions. So as much time to tell.
Whenever you don't have more time, then we'll just hang up and we'll do it another time.
Yeah,
So
there might be a sequel like Kickboxer, for example. They had to do a sequel to get more Tong Po out there.
we'll keep going. It's a pleasure to be with you, so I have no problem.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah, let's start at the very beginning, though, when you first basically got into boxing.
So actually, I was born in Morocco. So originally, I'm from Morocco. I was born there in 1962, and not in a hospital, just in a little home.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The ancient way.
The ancient way, sure.
And in 1964, we left me, my older brother, Abdel Karim Qissi, and myself, and my mom and dad. We left in 1964, so I was only 2 and my brother was 4, and we left for Brussels. So there we went to kindergarten, and then we went to, first grade school. We were like 6, 7, and then my brother was going and training boxing.
Okay.
So, and also we just love movies. At that time, it was Massis, Sanson, Hercule, Tarzan with Johnny Westmuller, we just were crazy about movies. And we had a movie theater next to us.
Oh, nice.
But we didn't have the money for. So
okay.
my brother was, time to time, our parents were giving us a little bit of money to go, but we wanted to go every weekend, So anyway, we just loved movies from very little, and then, of course, Bruce Lee, and in sports, Muhammad Ali, and my brother was training in a place called in Brussels, à la Depse, Rue Général Theiss. So, and I followed his step. I went there, and that was in the basement of that place. And at the ground floor, it was karate Shotokan, with Master Claude Guts and his assistant, who's a wonderful guy who also did a lot and helped a lot, Claude Guts. I like to talk about him because we don't talk much about him and we cannot forget him. His name is William Delval. He also did a lot for Jean-Claude. Jean-Claude was little, started when he was 9. And, he was doing martial arts and I was doing, he was doing Karate Shotokan and I was doing boxing. We were training, and then he loved boxing. He also loved Muhammad Ali and loved Bruce Lee, of course.
Sure.
So then he came down time to time when he finished his karate, and he come to see us, to see me boxing, and we start to be friends. He saw me the way I was boxing, like Muhammad Ali already. We just loved. I loved Muhammad Ali. We were like watching all his fights, at 3 o'clock in the morning, because at that time, the time changed from America to Belgium, so we had to wake up very early,
Mm-hmm.
and then from there we became really good friends. I started to go to see him training karate, and he was doing some boxing with us, and I was doing some karate with them. So what can I say? With time, we became like brothers. He loved Moroccan food like tagine, couscous, and he stayed at home with us. And then I go to his home also, and I was helping his parents in the flower shop. They had a flower shop, and that's how we became really good friends. And then at one moment, I will always remember that it was Mother's Day, and I can see some of the kids with me at school getting a little gift for and I didn't have any money. So Jean-Claude said to me, come, I'll show you something. So he showed, he was what? At that time, he was like 10, I was like 8, and then he showed me his saved box. And he said, you're the only one I gave the code,
Sure.
So he showed me the code, he opened, and he took 50 Belgium franc, which was equivalent today of like, c'était combien? $1.
Mm-hmm.
$1 pretty much. But at that time was a lot of money. So I'm talking about, 70s, but beginning in the 70s. So I was so happy, and I went and bought something for my mom. So that always stick with me,
Yeah, that's cool. Mohammed, did you guys actually go to school together, or did you only know him from the gym?
Yeah, just the gym. That's where we met. And then he started to do competition,
Okay.
in Qatar. And there were a lot of people trust me, so many people were coming to train at that dojo. Was on the ground floor, was spacious. And I'm telling you, a lot of people. And, time of the tournament, I was going and watch him,
Mm-hmm.
And he was amazing. He was amazing. I mean, another level of everybody. And you had some other good fighter, believe me, but he was like.
Oh, so this is tournament like point fighting that you were watching him doing.
It was tournament with karate Shotokan combat. So that was fight. He was amazing. He was amazing. You can see the true talent of that guy. You don't see that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was impressed. And I was like, hey, he's my brother. He's my friend. I was happy to say he's my. He's
Sure. Yeah, of course.
And then in boxing, he come to watch me boxing, and I was, don't like to say that, but it's the truth. Very talented in boxing.
Mm-hmm.
So he was very strong with his feet, his legs, and I was very, very strong with my hands.
You had the hands, yeah.
And then I had quite a few knockouts already before I start to fight in boxing, English boxing, just fist. I mean, I was knocking out with big gloves and also helmet, and I was knocking out people on the dojo. Mm-hmm. So that's something you just have or you don't. So basically, I was like having something special in boxing. He had something special in karate. So he was the best element in his school, and I was the best element in my school. Of course, my brother was very, very strong, very good too. He was always heavyweight because he was like, you know, he's the guy who played Attila in Lionheart.
Yeah,
So
big guy.
big guy. So anyway, then just an anecdote there. I mean, we grew up like that with sport. Okay, we just love doing sports. We were training the maximum we could. We just loved it. You know, sometimes the place was closed and we were going inside from the window and to go inside and to train. I mean, we just love training.
Mhm.
He wanted to be at that time, you know, world champion in martial arts. He could have, I'm telling you, he could have. The guy was like amazing, amazing. I mean, any fighter can see him on the screen, they'll understand that.
Oh, definitely.
And me too. My goal at that time was like, you know, we were what? We were like 14, 15. I wanted to go to the Olympic Games in boxing. I wanted to, I just wanted to do boxing. But we loved movies also.
Mm-hmm.
So we loved movies. And then we, of course, for all those years, almost from when we met, we were always going in theaters, you know, and then we were going by the exit because we were going almost every day to see a movie, you know, almost every day.
So you
And
snuck into the theater, basically.
we snuck in from the exit, you know.
Yeah, I used to do that too.
People coming out and then we go in. And then we lay down on the very beginning, on the front. We lay down there like that, they don't see us, you know, and we stay like, you know, completely on the floor, and we watching that huge screen, you know, and we just go like inside that screen, you know. We were like really living with the movie. It was just amazing that
Movie
love.
magic, yeah, definitely. What were your guys' favorite movies though? Like you had to have some favorite ones.
Oh my God, the movie we loved. Actually, we loved similar movies. We had the same taste of music, of movies. We really have the same taste, and that's why also our friendship were even stronger
Of
because
course,
we
yeah.
loved the same thing. Bruce Lee, Muhammad Ali, music, movies like example Hard Times, which I came up. I'll tell you later on the
About
idea for
Lionheart, yeah, sure.
With Charles Bronson, James Coburn, loved it. And we loved movies, of course, Bruce Lee. My God, just loved Bruce Lee. Enter the Dragon. And we were like, oh my God, we just went crazy for it. So then movies, of course, like Seven Mercenary with, you know, again, Charles Bronson, which we love, Steve McQueen, Yul Brynner, of course. And those are the kind of movies we really loved. And then we kept on going, me in his tournament, fighting, me in boxing, back and forth. Everybody was saying, oh my God, you're going to be doing so well. Because we were always winning. We were really always winning. Me in boxing and him in karate. And we didn't have such a hard time, you know, but we were training so hard, you know, we were working out so hard. And we especially love doing it, you know, when you love something,
Yeah,
you know.
that's important. Yeah, the real passion.
Then when you follow what you love, you can be only good at it, you know. Then with time, again, we just at one moment I start to have some elbow problem, you know, personally.
Okay.
So I couldn't really keep going boxing. I was very, very sad. Today I'm happy, very happy, because
You get the mental faculties intact.
maybe I wouldn't be able to talk to you the way I'm talking if I kept going boxing. Okay.
Let me ask you this, Mohammed, though. How far did you get? Did you have like an amateur record?
Actually, I was I had like 33 fights
Wow.
in boxing. but amateur. My brother went in professional.
That's cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
he went through professional. He boxed longer than me.
Hmm.
I stopped earlier because of my elbow. And you can see almost all my fights are knockouts, you know.
Wow.
I'll give you a little anecdote. My father comes because first, you know, my parents didn't want me to do boxing. I mean, my brother, they were not against it because he was big guy, already young, big guy. You
Yeah.
know, me, I was not, you know, not that strong looking, you know, but sometimes punch has nothing to do with being, you know, it's something electric. It's something you have it or you don't.
Hmm.
So anyway, my parents didn't want to. Even my brother, he didn't want to. I was crying to do boxing, you know. So when I went there one day and he saw me crying, the coach, the trainer, he said to my brother, "Come on," he said, "let me see, let me do a test with him." And then, you know, that's the day even before I met Jean-Claude, okay, the very beginning.
Yeah.
So basically, he said, "Oh my God, he's good," you know, because I was watching Muhammad Ali when I was like, because my parents loved Muhammad Ali. So I was watching with them when I was 4, 5 years old, you know, 6. Honestly, I never tried to copy, but naturally I start to, you know, to box like him.
Inspired by
Uh,
the movements. Yeah.
by watching him, you know, since very young age. So then I had a story also with Muhammad Ali in Los Angeles with Jean-Claude. So that's something else. Remind me,
Oh,
I
yeah,
will.
yeah, yeah. When we get there, that's a cool story. Sure.
Sorry. Anyway, so basically, what happened is I start to train, as I said to you, you know the story, until, you know, he comes to see me, I go to see him. All this was good, but the first time I was what? I was 15 to go to do my first boxing in novice, because under amateur you have novice, you have amateur, and you have professional. So novice, it's for really the beginners. My father didn't want to come.
Mm-hmm.
He was afraid. He said to my brother, I mean, he's hard-headed, you know. We told him not to do boxing. He wants to do. No, he has fights he can do. I'm sure he's going to abandon, you know. They're going to kick his ass, and then, you know, he'll finish with boxing. So that was the mentality of my father. I'm going to do nothing. Anyway, I go, come back, I fight, right? Come back home, and my brother say, yeah, my father say, hey, alors, so what happened? And my brother say, knockout. My father say, you see, told you, no, stay home. And my brother said to you, no, he said to him, no, the other guy got knocked out. So he said, what? He couldn't believe it. So anyway, the second fight, same thing. He said, you know what? Now you got knockouts. And my brother said, no, he knocked out the other guy. What? So he said, the third fight, he said, I have to come and see that, you know. So there already, quickly, they put me in amateur, you know. So I was like 16.
Yeah, okay.
They put me right away in amateur, because I was doing pretty good. So what happened is my father come that day. Oh my God. When he sees the guy I need to box, Lombard, I remember his name, Lombard. He had like, he was like much older, you know, much older. Some hair here, you know, favorite. The sideburn, you say sideburn, right?
Yeah, sure.
Tatouage, much older than me. And my father say, oh. He looked at my coach. He said, no, my son. Where you go? I mean, you're going to put a boy with a man? What is this? He says, no. I was like, my father, I was like so ashamed, you know. I was like, oh my God. First time my dad comes and he's giving a problem. So I try to find an idea, and I say to my dad, listen, is it possible that because everything is prepared, I have to go and fight? You know, I cannot just not go. I'm going to have problems. You're going to give me problems. So he said, what's the idea? I said, okay, you just take the towel, okay, and then you go. I'll see with the coach for you to stay in the corner, and then if you see something you don't like, just throw the towel. He says, that's a good idea. He says, that's a good idea. Okay. And basically, we start the fight. And I remember I said, I have to be quick here, because I was already afraid before I start, my father threw the towel, you know? Yeah. So I was like, right away. I mean, like few hits. And the last one was a right hook. And the guy, bam, on the floor. His eyes, I remember, like, and his feet were like, you know? Oh my, I said, oh, fuck, I killed the guy. You know, I was afraid. And then they asked me my ID after, and you know, the guy said like half hour on the floor.
Wow.
And you know, someone said to me, "Don't worry. I mean, you know, that's boxing. Nothing can happen to you." And then I was just worried about the guy, and then I went to him, and then you know, hugged the guy. I remember I was apologizing. You know, I'm sorry. So I was feeling bad for him. So anyway, my father was like so happy. So that's a little anecdote of me, you know.
Yeah, that's cool. And you said you had over 30 fights.
Yeah, 33. I had like 33 fights. I was Belgium champion. I had quite a few newspaper article.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, always nice articles. And then since I am originally from Morocco, the president of the Moroccan Association Boxing, Mustafa Wissam, he started to see all those newspapers, you know, from Belgium. And then he came to see me and my brother. Mm-hmm. And that we also do, you know, a tournament for Morocco, which are our country d'origin. But we were Belgium citizen. And we still are, you know, so we have both passport, you know, Moroccan and Belgium. So anyway, I'll give you want another anecdote about boxing, or we go on?
We'll get one more.
One more anecdote. So I was like 17, 18, start to be, you know, slowly a man, you know, and stronger. I was training with like two of them. They were Belgium champion, Iberakim and Alberto. Two of them with me on the sparring, because one of them was not enough. So it was like always working, like, you know, bam, bam. I was very good to avoid, because a good fighter is first not to get hit. Mm-hmm. That is the most important. That is, and it is the most difficult. But I had that, you know, like,
nice.
You know, like in my legs dancing, you know, and moving. So that is the most important and the most difficult to do as a fighter. Okay. Mm-hmm. And of course, have a good chin. Thank God. Never really got, I mean, in training, and I had headbutts, but I mean, in fight, never got like hurt. The other guy, yes, but never got my eyes or, you know, my lips. So and sometimes I got hit, of course, but it's very rare to get me hit like this.
Yeah,
I get hit like this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a big difference. You know, if you get hit like this, or you get hit like this. So I was, you know, when I get hit, I was in movement, you know. So anyway, that anecdote I wanted to tell you, you had someone named Jean-Paul. He was like big guy, okay? I mean, I was what there? I was like 180, pretty much.
Sure.
How you in England? Yeah, in America, yeah, it's because
Yeah,
we
pounds.
say kilogram, but I believe in pound I was like 180 at that time.
You were 6'2", weren't you?
Uh, Slowly I was going there at 17, 18. I was maybe 6'1",
Okay.
you know. I'm
Yeah.
talking about 17, 18 I was, and I was like 100 and I believe 80,
Hmm.
70, 70, 80. Anyway, the guy was like 200, he was like 240. It was a big guy.
Wow, big heavyweight. Yeah. Wow.
He was working in as a bouncer,
Hmm.
you know, in discotheque. So he hear a lot about my brother Abdel. He was there, my brother already professional.
Hmm.
And he was damn good, you know. Going to Paris against Lucien Rodriguez, who was who was uh, who was European champion. Then also fight against an Italian guy who went to Damiani. He fought Damiani, who became world champion in boxing. He knocked out Evangelista, and yeah, he was very good, my brother. Honestly, so they were talking a lot about him, and the guy didn't like that because Jean-Paul was known to be, you know, the strongest guy.
Hmm.
So one time he comes to the dojo. He comes to the dojo and he starts to scream the name of my brother. Where is Abdel Qissi? Let's fight.
Hmm.
See who's the best. And good for him, my brother was not there. So basically, I left my hand. I said, my brother's not here, but I'm here. We can train. We can spar if you want. And then I see my coach, saying, don't do that, So I was kind of pissed, the way he came in. And
Oh, sure. Disrespectful. Yeah.
yeah, I didn't like it. So anyway, yeah, let's start with the little brother.
The warm up.
Let's start with the little brother. So I said, okay. And what happened is, they put I put my glove, he put his glove on, and we start, right? His origin is from Belgium. He's a real white guy, okay?
Mhm.
When you are really white and you get hit, it becomes red quickly.
Sure.
So what happened is, we start to train, and then with my boxing, right, I start to dance, and he comes, I remember, with his hand just like this. Wow, wow. I mean, I said, oh, fuck. I mean, if he if he touch me, he will kill me. So basically, I was most of his hit avoiding
Hmm.
because I can see it coming. Sometimes he hits me here. I go on the rope. I mean, that was like 240 pounds. I mean, it was big
Yeah,
guy.
that's
But each time I hit, bam, 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 bam. Each time I hit, it's like red spot, red spot, red spot, red spot. I mean, the guy was starting to have red. Then I remember his lips, and then the round finish, and then I remember he was kind of very surprised, on his face, and then the coach come in, and then he says to him, the second round, put your guard up. Don't go down. So he started to give advice to the other guy. And the guy says to him, yeah, but why him? He's not, because I was boxing, like this, right? Not really like this, okay?
mm.
And then he says, that Jean-Paul says, yeah, but what about him? He's not putting it. He said, yeah, but he knows how to box. So he didn't like that. So anyway, he got pissed. He put his glove down. He put it and he left. So that's a little anecdote about my story in I have other things, but it was of course unbelievable moment, especially after the tournament after I box and we go celebrate. And I remember we go to Le Giant, who were free. It was like Le Palace, Vaudeville. Those were the discotheques Jean-Claude and we were going. Jean-Claude loved disco. I like it too, I like to dance, but he was going crazy for the discotheque, And imagine one night, sometimes like 2 3 girls, he takes a girl, he goes, comes back, takes another girl, comes back. He was crazy. So anyway, we loved, of course, the same music. At that time it was Earth, Wind, and Fire, Kool and the Gang. Those music, they were just amazing.
Mohammed, let me ask you this. So was your record 33-0?
Actually, I had like 31. Then I had a draw and I had a loss. And then I fight back. In those, I had to fight back and I won. I won.
You got the rematch.
I lost this, but I fight them again and I won by knockout.
Oh, nice.
And then after, as I said to you, I had problems with
the elbow, right?
With my both elbow. What happened? Yes, you have another question?
Yes, let me ask you this, because you do have a legitimate fight record, very skilled boxer. Basically if someone is or can be a great fighter. Now, a lot of people are curious and they ask, and different people have different opinions. Your honest opinion, you probably know better than anybody as far as Jean-Claude Van Damme skills, as if he pursued that instead of the movie thing, like, what do you think would have happened?
My God. I mean, you had some very good fighters in Europe. Don't forget that. You had people, world champion in France, So we were going and training there, sparring with people, We were going to visit Dominique Valera, if you heard of him. And we were going to visit, different dojos. He was amazing. He was amazing. I mean, a real fighter will see that on the screen. I mean, it's something magic. It's not something usual. I mean, look the way he moves. Doesn't lie. I mean, you can see it. So you can see the guy has speed because you see the speed. You can see when he jumps, just when someone jumps so high, look at his legs, his precision, difficult to touch him. And he had, I don't know, something weird going on with his knee, because he goes up knee and then he does, things like not normal people do. Something close to him is like Bill Wallace with his left leg, but he does it with both legs. The guy was amazing, really amazing. So, but he had that passion, We had two passions, boxing for me and movies. Mm-hmm. Then I got hurt. As I said to you, couldn't keep going boxing. Jean-Claude had martial arts, karate. He had to be world champion, but then he had movies. Mm-hmm. You have a choice there. And then the Bruce Lee movie, he just had a stronger passion to go into movies like Bruce Lee. He wanted to be more like Bruce Lee. And he also know in combat, kickboxing and all that. That's smart of him. You know, it's dangerous for your health.
Mm-hmm.
You can be as good as you want at one point, you know. It can go really bad, and most of them have problems when they get older. So it's also more dangerous. But he was what can I mean, again, a real fighter will see him, see the muscles he has, see how he jump for the power, see the way he, I mean, you can only know the guy. The guy is a good martial arts. But of course, I know a little more, much more maybe because I spar with him. I spar with him for many years. You know, doing like kickboxing with him, and legs, feet. I mean, we were like sparring all the time. And trust me, when he touched and he was controlling. So he was very powerful with his leg. I was very powerful with my fist. Of course, we were doing sparring with control, but you can feel, you know, you can feel. Example, he had, before we went to Hollywood, he had one fight in kickboxing, one fight. All the others were in karate Shotokan. And it was in a very important place in Brussels, Forêt Nationale. And that guy was from Germany. So he did that fight, first round, knockout. But what happened is, the guy was good, but Jean-Claude was, of course, on another level. And then he went, like I told you, with that knee up, and of course was very quick. But I explain you slow. He was going with Mawashi around the jaw, you know, and the temple, the place here. He goes there, okay, but he comes back. So he goes there, comes. The guy opens to block the feet, but he's so quick, so he come back, and he goes inside, opens up. I mean, he had so many. I don't know how many stitches, but the guy was like really opened up. You know?
Wow.
So come down, knock out, blood come out. Was, I mean, I'm telling you, if he was have done kickboxing or Thai boxing, I mean, he would have been doing a lot of damage because of his speed and because of his power. So he was unique. I mean, rare those people, you know, like Jean-Claude, like Billy Wallace, like Benny Urquidez. You know, those are rare people. Those are people on another level. Then you have fighters who are world champion. You have a lot of world champion. You know, many world champion, many federation, a lot. But those who come out from the ordinary becomes extraordinary. Those extraordinary are very rare. Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Ray Sugar Leonard, Ray Sugar Robinson. Those are, you know, it's
it's one in a million for sure.
Tyson, Fury, Wilder of today. There's world champion, yes. They're very good, yes, but not at the level of Mike Tyson in his prime, Muhammad Ali in his prime. Come on, a good fighter sees that. So those kind of people come just time to time in generation. In generation, sometimes you don't have that. You don't have those people.
Yeah, exactly. Because they may not have pursued that sport.
It depends. It depends. So those are, you know, Marvin Hagler. I mean, you know,
Mohammed, I got to ask a hypothetical because Don the Dragon Wilson, for example, world kickboxing champion, he talks a lot about Van Damme, and I guess I don't know if it was Don Wilson or if it was Roger Corman, but there was like that challenge for the kickboxing match in the 90s Hypothetical fight, Van Damme versus Don the Dragon Wilson. Like, what do you think happens if that plays out and they both go to their fight camp for like, say, 3 months or something?
I mean, listen, I have a lot of respect for all the fighters because it's not easy, trust me. And Don Wilson, man, he's a warrior. He's a warrior. I mean, he has a big heart.
Mm.
His cardio is phenomenal. So he's very, very good. It's hard to talk. I mean, I would love him if he was there. You know, we talk together. It would be better. But if I can give my opinion about few things, I hope he doesn't take it bad. But you know, the problem is with Don Wilson, he gets hit. He's not the guy who really avoids much. He's basically, I mean, Jean-Claude, honestly, to me personally, he's on another level. That's only my opinion. But if I go in the ring, let's say I spar with Don Wilson, I can give you a better result. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, you have a
So
better idea,
if
sure.
I go with him, I can tell you because I went with Jean-Claude. So if I go with Don Wilson, example, and let's do some sparring, I'm 60 years old, but I have no problem. So anytime if you want, we can do a little sparring.
He's still working out all the time.
That's good. That's good. But it's okay. I would love to spar with him. And then if I spar with him, I can give you a better, because talking, it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
But to me personally, when I see Don Wilson and I see Jean-Claude and I try to come out, forget about the brothership, grow up with Jean-Claude just as an athlete, Don Wilson and Jean-Claude, again, Jean-Claude is another level. Means fighters, no fighters. If we give the same camp 3 months for Don Wilson in his prime, 3 months, Jean-Claude, Van Damme, same level of coaching. Coach is so important.
Mm-hmm.
Same level of coaching. 3 months, prime. To me, Don Wilson will not last 1 round. If it's a round of 3 minutes, first minute, second minute. Because, of course, you know, don't forget, that's only my opinion. That's only my opinion, okay? I hope he will not take that bad because I have to talk to the people honestly.
Oh, yeah, sure. We want your honesty.
You know, I have to be honest. I told you, he has a heart of a warrior, Don Wilson. He has a great cardio. The only problem, he gets hit too much. And you know, when you have good fighters, what makes
Styles make fights.
Styles make the fighters. I mean, that style of Don Wilson is perfect for Jean-Claude. See what I'm saying? Because Don Wilson comes in, right? Man, he's gone. Because Jean-Claude has the long legs, takes distance, and comes with a Maigiri inside, like I told you. Or he goes very well with Maigiri in the plexus. Or he goes in the temple, you know, and then can hit you there or come back with his knee right away inside. I mean, he has his back flip he was very strong with that, with his heel, you know, in the liver, like Benir Kidez was doing. He had that very strong, Jean-Claude. I mean, you can see some demonstration. You go to Dida, world champion, you know, in kickboxing, Thai boxing, and then you see some demonstration. You see Jean-Claude leaving his, you know, you can with his suit and going up and staying up and hitting his legs. I mean, who do that? I mean, that's you need power for that. I mean, not everybody do that. Up leg, you know, and then and then you hit your legs and it doesn't move, stays up. You see those demonstrations, you have an idea, and then he can come close to you and you know, close to you, which you can't do nothing, right? And go up with his leg and touch you. He was so flexible.
Yeah, and that kind of precision is crazy. So here's why Van Damme, going with your opinion, would actually have a really good chance and could win because now Don Wilson, I interviewed him, and he, again, great kickboxer, tons of experience, so many titles. And he says like he's barely ever got kicked in the face in general in his fights, but when he sparred Bill Superfoot Wallace, Bill was touching him everywhere because of that precision and dexterity.
People ask me about Bill because I trained with Bill for many years, sparred many rounds with him, and they said, "Well, what was it like?" And I said, "I'll tell you exactly what it's like. I fought for 28 years against the best fighters, top 10 fighters from 1980 to 2002. It was only contenders or other champions. And during that entire time, twice has my opponent's foot touched my face. But Bill Wallace and I, when we sparred, he kicked me in the face, I would say average, 4 times every round. Nobody else could kick like that, could even dream of kicking like that. When his knee got up, you knew you were going to get kicked, but you didn't know where. There's no telltale sign with Bill. The knee just comes up, and the next thing you have time is this. It's either going to be your face, right in the face, or this side, or this side. It's this fast.
Well, I can start from here and then go that way. So I can change it whenever I want.
So if you're saying Van Damme's like Bill Wallace, but instead of just having the left leg, he's got both that he can utilize, that's a good reason why he could probably knock out Don Wilson.
You need just to be logical. You see the guy on the screen. I mean, and of course, as I said, I have a better idea because I spar with him for so many years. So I know the guy, I know the guy. So some people get wrong, so when I mean, we can go talk back and forth, but the best is the ring, So that's why I say anytime in the ring, sparring, put a camera on and you see, and then I can tell you even better, about Don Wilson or anybody else. That's I have no problem, What can I risk?
Would you want to spar him in boxing or kickboxing, though? Mohammed, would you want to spar him in boxing or kickboxing?
Of course. I mean, he's kickboxing. I had a story also with Harold Diamond. Who was
going to kickboxer. Yes, that's a good story.
I was just doing boxing there, and he was doing, kickboxing. So, of course, no problem for me for the person to do kickboxing, and I will do just boxing. I'm fine with that. But I mean, of course, I have little movement with my leg, I'm not someone really flexible, but I can go in the stomach. I can go to the plexus. I can go to the liver. That's pretty easy for me. So again, Jean-Claude is a next level. I mean, some people think he's just a showman. Oh my God, how much they're wrong, because he started very, very young with fighting, with martial arts, started when he was 9 and until 20. And then we went to Hollywood. So, and the guy told you the only fight he had in kickboxing, the guy knocked him out.
Yeah, he took him out.
Faced. And he was a German fighter, good fighter, 2 girls. Look how he moves with Dida, a little bit moving. Just see the difference. The guy is world champion, Dida, world champion. Look at, I mean, you can have a feeling, you can have, but of course it's me, I will know better because I sparred with him. And someone like Don Wilson or someone else, I will say to you, for me to really know him, I need to spar with him. Again, as I said, what can it happen to me? I get knocked out. It's okay. I get knocked out. For the public, I will give them that because they deserve it. Because of them, we got to be famous. We got to be doing what we loved. So we owe them that. So it would be my pleasure
That'd be
And
an amazing exhibition match. Don the Dragon Wilson versus Tong Po, Mohammed Qissi.
The Dragon. It's just a movie, Kickboxer. Don't be scared. He's just going to be with Mohammed with his nice smile in the ring, so don't you worry.
My thoughts are it'd be a great thing. It's a great show. I really think it would be, people would like to see it. They're doing these exhibition bouts now. That's what they call them, exhibitions.
Hey guys, for more info on this match and to see Don's full response to Mohammed Qissi, make sure to click this video. Check this one out, which linked in the description below. And now let's get back to the Tong Po interview. Let's basically get the whole story of you guys coming to the United States. So at what point, you guys probably talked about it a lot. Hey, I want to be in a movie. Yeah, me too. Cool. At what point though, like how old were you guys when you said, you know what, let's just pack our stuff and head out to Hollywood and see what happens?
What can I say? I mean, first, we were trying to make it in Belgium, in France, but I mean, no martial arts movies, because I just knew. I said, Jean-Claude can be a huge star. I said, my God, you know, a lot of people, you know, they didn't know because I was the one who sparred with him. I was the one who working out with him. I was the one who sees him the way he do his movements, you know. So I just knew, and I said, I will do everything to help him to arrive there, because again, I never forgot about what he did for my mom, you know.
Yeah,
So it was always that stays with me, you know, because you know how it is. I mean, who do we love most? I mean, we all love most one person, is our mommy, you know. Any young guys out there in the war, World War I, World War II, you will hear, I mean, most of those people, the last word was mommy, you know, they were calling their mom, you know. So that's, a mom is very, very special in our heart. So it touched me there, you know.
Hey, Mohammed, before America though, didn't Van Damme try to make it in Hong Kong, I believe? Did you guys try to do anything in Hong Kong?
That's another story. That's another story.
Yeah, we need this is before you guys went to America, right?
Yes. So I'm happy you asked me that question. You know, I'm happy you asked me that question. So let me tell you what happened there. You have a certain Paul Van Damme. He was like, when I was in my 16, 17, he was like 60. And I was also going to work time to time to his place. His place is in Square d'Aviation in Brussels. It's a big house with many floors.
Oh, okay.
And it has the title Pierre Alexandre. Pierre Alexandre is textile. So they were in clothing business. He has two sons, Pierre Paul and Alexandre. And he took Pierre and Alexandre, and he has the title of his clothing. And he did, I mean, a lot of money. He became really rich because of textile, because of clothing. But he also was doing boxing. So he has his little bit his nose like this, you know, a lot of, he was very charming, very, very nice guy, class, a lot of class, you know. And he came and see me fighting. He was coming first to see my brother, because in a sparring with Sieben, Albert Sieben, which he went there because he was the sponsor of Albert Sieben, and he saw my brother destroy him. The guy was like European champion, Albert Sieben, and my brother destroyed him. So it was like, where he comes from, that guy, you know. So anyway, that's how the first relationship. And then he got to know me also, because I was his brother, but he saw my fights. I remember when I was doing my fights, honestly, a lot of people were like just standing up, you know, standing up, because I was like dancing and, you know, and hitting, and hitting and working. And he loved it. He said, my God, I mean, it's like Muhammad Ali, you know, he was like, and he started to give me money. You know, when you go see a fight, sometimes someone can give money, you know, so I was happy because after the fight, I get that money. I said, give me that money. It's a certain Paul Van Damme. And then I knew, oh yeah, the guy who, and then we became friends. He invited me to his home in Zelik, beautiful home. Wow, swimming pool, you know, he had people doing best food. He was inviting me there. He invited me in his place where I was working also in the clothing business for a time. And then on the top floor, he had a dojo and he had like big poster, I remember, of Muhammad Ali. So I was working out there and I was also taking care of him. I was giving him like massage, you know, and working out with him. We built up a good friendship. I built up a good friendship with Paul Van Damme. Just was sitting down sometimes, you know, in his dojo and I was hitting the heavy bag. He had like a heavy bag. Bam, bam. And I was hitting the heavy bag. Yeah. And then I was like dancing a lot. You know, anyway, I was like, he was like, he just keep going. And then I finished my 3 minutes. And he said, no, keep going. It's good for your cardio. He just wanted to see more, you know. He was like, he loved to see me boxing. So anyway, we became good friends, really good friends. And then one day, Alexandre became really big, one of his sons, in Hong Kong, in clothing business. And then, you know, I see those catalog he has with clothing. I start to think, because, you know, to me, it was like, Alexander is in Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, who do you have? Jackie Chan. You know, so I was thinking like that. I said, Then I said to Paul, what? I would like to introduce you to someone because you have like a department in the catalog of sports clothing. And I think he could be perfect. And he said, who is this? I said, Jean-Claude Van Damme. That's his real name.
Sure.
Okay. Because the name of Van Damme, that's later on. I'll explain you why and how it happened. Okay. No. Jean-Claude Van Damme, I never heard of him because he was more boxing. He was not martial arts, Paul Van Damme, right? Mm-hmm. So I said, okay, is that, would you like, he needed to see him, of course. And he had like pictures of martial arts, movement and all that. And we did a cover with karate, Inside Karate. It was like a martial arts magazine from France with Jean-Yves Bolognel. He was the main guy doing that at that time, that magazine. And then anyway, I put all that together and I showed it to Paul Van Damme. I said, wow, guy, in the cover with his, was beautiful kick and some pictures. And I said, what do you think about? Then when I spoke to Jean-Claude was it? I'm not the model. I'm 5'10". You need to be at least 6'2", He was like, he sous-estimated himself. Anyway, I just said, Jean-Claude, it's just about sports clothing. And I think you could be perfect. But our main goal is Hong Kong to meet Jackie Chan. That's an opportunity. So what happened is I got the deal done. So Jean-Claude left for Hong Kong, did those pictures, and he did meet Jackie Chan. We were on the phone, because time to time, the office of Paul Van Damme in Belgium, and talking to him, he was in the office of Alexander, the son of Paul Van Damme in Hong Kong. So we were on the phone. And he says, I saw Jackie Chan, but he was kind of disappointed because didn't give him time. And then finally, he finished the photo shooting for the catalog of sports clothing. So I said, hold on. Let me see with Paul Van Damme. What do you think, Jean-Claude? I was on the phone, right? what do you think? I talked to him, and instead of Hong Kong, Brussels, do Hong Kong, Los Angeles. I'm going to see for him to pay for, the adding ticket plan and the hotel there, and you can check out, see, feel what, maybe some contact, maybe. Oh yeah, that's a great idea. You will pay for that for me. I said, let me see. So I talked to Paul Van Damme. Is it possible for Jean-Claude, instead of come back to Brussels direct, to do a little hook, in Hollywood, Los Angeles? He says, okay. So that was great news. I said to Jean-Claude, wow, great. He was happy. Yeah. And he went there, and he met a certain Tyrone Pork. He met there a certain guy named Tyrone Pork. And then he came back to Brussels. Time left, he had at least a contact.
Okay.
Later on, that contact is the one who was taking care of the casting in Canon production of the movie Breakdance, where we had Jean-Claude and I extra parts.
The cameo role.
We were like so excited. Not at that point. At that point, he was not. Actually, he was kind of disappointed. He didn't really meet someone important. It was that Tyrone Pork. He met him on Santa Monica Beach, talking to him. But Jean-Claude, his English was very, very bad, and he didn't know he was doing casting. He didn't know about all that. We knew that later on. I will come to that. Anyway, when he comes, Jean-Claude comes back to Brussels. Jean-Claude's father, Eugène, sees a newspaper and sees MIF in Milan. What is it? It's basically similar, you say, to AFM, American Film Market in Los Angeles. Similar, but it's in Milan. Mm-hmm. Then, because his father sees how much we wanted to do movies, went to Hong Kong, nothing worked, went to Los Angeles, nothing worked, he went there for just a week. But anyway, what are we going to do? How are we going to do that? So basically, he saw all that and he gave us this idea. So we went there. We took the train from Brussels to Milan, and we went to that MIF Festival of Milano. And that was like, wow, for us was like amazing, amazing. Why? It was a French guy who helped us, who was like an agent for artists. And he helped us for a badge, because you cannot come in just like that. You need a badge. Mm-hmm. So he gave us that badge, and we go in, Jean-Claude and I. He had a suit on, I had a suit on, really clean to go in and trying to meet people. And we were amazed, because it was like a way different example than Cannes. Cannes is prestigious in unbelievable hotel, beautiful, majestic hotel, those great hotels next to the yacht. There now, it's like industrial. It's in an industrial place. It's like really, it was like a big place with a lot of little rooms, and each rooms they have this producer who tried to sell his movie. So he has a TV, sofa, posters here, our next movie, some pre-sales, some wants money for a new project. Anyway, and those are distributor, producer from all over the world come there, and distributor comes everywhere. So distributor buys the movie from the producer to distribute in the country the movie. So for us at that time was like just amazing, It was like we were like the first day we were like just two kids looking at all that, We were like, wow, we were very impressed. And then you also have theater where they show the movie in a big screen. Mm-hmm. Okay, so first they see on the TV on the small office. If they like it, then they go to see the theater. They look at it, and then they make the deal, or they don't make the deal. Anyway, what happened? We met so many people, and we met so many people, and then business card. Your place is in Hollywood. Your place is in Hollywood. Your place, all of them, you know, were like, and then we met Menachem Golan. That's the first time we met Menachem Golan.
Wow.
Same thing, business card. And so we came back home, like in Brussels, with plenty of business class. So we were really motivated.
Oh, sure.
That we were like, oh my God, we have to go. We were like tongue popped, you know. We said, man, we have to go. We have to go. And then we talked to William Delval. William Delval, remember, assistant of Claude Guts, master Claude Guts in martial arts, because he's amateur, but to me he was a professional. Photography, but he loves photography. So we said, let's get ready. Let's first try to put money together for the airplane. I remember I worked on the big sport place of Paul Van Damme in Chatelain with, you know, I was like in that, with that machine, you know, marteau piqueur, we say in French, marteau piqueur, to come down the ancient wall and old wall and to do big new wall. Anyway, got all my hand, and I remember I was trying to put money together with you know, bouncer. I was doing also bouncer sometimes in Brussels with Jean-Claude. We were doing bouncers there, making some money. So
Mohammed, didn't Van Damme have a gym? Didn't Van Damme run a gym in Brussels at the time?
It's interesting. I was going to talk about that too. He opened, because his parents have a daughter and a son, Veronique and Jean-Claude. So they give some money to Veronique to open a clothing store, and they give some money to Jean-Claude to open a gym. So we start like that, you know. He had a little bit easier time than me to putting money together than me, because I was like, the gym was doing well, so that's good. I was happy for him, but I need to make my own money for my airline ticket, okay, to go to Hollywood. And some money, once I'm there, you know, we never know. So, but already we had that contact, Tyrone Park, but we had also a contact of a guy in Brussels, American guy, who loved also the food of my mother. And he also said, hey, he has a house in Beverly Hills. Once we'll be there, we'll be very welcome. So we were very confident. He said, oh my God, we'll have all those help. That's wonderful. Anyway, William Delval, very good photograph. And he has a great appareil. I remember, great appareil, the photo. And then we start to do some photo shoot for we say once we arrive, we can, you know, show those pictures for maybe casting or whatever. So we start to do some pictures, Place de la Monnaie. Maybe you saw some of them, black and white. He jumped above a car with a gun. And me,
yeah, I've seen those. Those are cool pictures. So that's the origin behind those pictures.
That's William Delval who took those pictures with me and Jean-Claude. Me getting hit, remember? With the he jumped on split with with a gun, and then it's like I stole his mallet, you know, sa valise, and I get like hit, you know. You see me there, and quite a few pictures like that. And then we had to come up. We loved the picture. We said, William, great, we loved it. Then we had to come up before, you know, with a name. So I start to think about a name, and he started to think about a name. I start to think about a name for him, and he started to think about a name for me. I remember I was like, I saw one day a movie, I loved the name called Cujo. And then Frank, I said, Frank Cujo. Frank Cujo, that's nice. What do you think? And Jean-Claude liked it. And then for me, Michael Catalina. I said, oh, okay, good, you know. So that was our first name. Frank Cujo for Jean-Claude, Michael Catalina for me.
Yeah, that's funny.
And then William Delval put the names in all those pictures of me and of him. So Jean-Claude got like a big black bag, right, of his grandfather. He was like left in a place He cleaned it. You know those, it looks like Dr. Jekyll and Hyde. You know those doctor bag, you know, black bag. Anyway, we fill up all the pictures there, okay? At that time, we really wanted to go, and everybody thought we were crazy, especially Eugene. What? You're going to leave the gym and you're going to go where? I mean, you even don't speak English. You don't have the right to work. I mean, you'll be just as a tourist, you're going to spend your money going back. Do you know how expensive it is to live there? I mean, what are you doing? You're going to lose your time, your money, and then they were worried for us too. You know, you can have like, you have a lot of, we were hearing already, a lot of gangs, you know, like black gangs with Mexican gangs with Colombian gangs with we hear like shooting almost many weekends, like in Chicago, in Los Angeles. Anyway, we're hearing that in Belgium. So of course he was afraid for us. We go there and they shoot us. So anyway, he said, I mean, not only him, even in my family. I mean, that's why I say if somebody has a passion, life is too short. Go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Gotcha.
But I always say also to the young people, get your master, your doctorate, get that, and then do whatever you want, but try to have a strong luggage first, you know, which Jean-Claude and I, we didn't do. But imagine if we didn't succeed, we don't have nothing.
Now, you kids don't go out and try that. You stay in school.
That's why I always advise to the young who listen to us, please, your school, and also the respect of the parents. Very, very important, the respect of the parents, especially the mommy. Mm-hmm. And that's the secret of succeeding in life too. And then in sports, like that, you don't go down to bad things like drugs. So basically, nobody thought were believing in us. We have American people who cannot succeed in movies. You, two little Belgian guy going to Hollywood, you're dreaming, okay? Anyway, we follow our passion, and we one day took that plane for Hollywood.
Yeah.
So when we took that plane, it has a stop in New York, but we had to stay in the plane for Hollywood, Los Angeles. And what happened there, you had the older couple behind us. And that woman was watching that black bag and looking at us, watching at the black, looking at us. And Jean-Claude looked at her. And then he looks at me. What happened with this? Why is she looking at me? I said to him, look in front of you and forget about her. Moments after, just a few seconds after, you look at her, keep on looking at that bag, and he does this. Boom! I say, Jean-Claude, what are you doing? Yeah, and then I look at that woman. She starts to sweat. I mean, and then she keeps on looking even more at the bag at us, and then he goes, boom, boom. I said, fuck, what are you doing, Jean-Claude? I mean, come on. We even didn't arrive to America and to Hollywood. You want us to be expelled already? I mean, what? Arriving in New York, two big guys coming. Please follow us.
Don't worry.
And then, excuse me, we follow us. I say, no, Los Angeles. We could speak in English, a few little words. Mm-hmm. We're going to Hollywood. Out. Then I look at Jean-Claude and I say to him, j'espère que t'es content. I hope you're happy. So we go down in the airport of New York.
America.
And then they look at the bag, they look at our luggage, they look at our clothing, they look at everything. And then you are okay. And the plane, the plane is gone. What?
Left.
The plane, I said, oh my God. And then I was pissed. And then I say, I was just trying to, my life is like that. I try always when I see something negative in my life to turn it positive. I always try to do that. And then I say, okay, we know Tyrone. We know that guy who told us to come. So we have some money. Let's get the ticket, another ticket. We will have help there. Let's just go. Let's just do it. So we bought another ticket.
That's crazy. You had to buy another ticket? They should have just gave you the next flight.
We had to buy another ticket.
Wow, what a scam.
Also, we couldn't speak very good, so we didn't know really, I mean, how to defend ourselves. And, we just, very rare somebody speaks in French there in America, especially at that time. So anyway, we take another plane and we arrive to Los Angeles. Once we arrive there, Jean-Claude looks at that number of Tyrone Polk, doesn't find it. Then he gets the guy who was coming at home in Belgium, in Brussels, and then we call him, the guy who said, Beverly Hills, I have everything, you just come until you get some job, some work. So we called him.
Mm-hmm.
And we called him, hey, how are you doing? In French. Oui, comment ça va? Oui. He was happy, he was nice. Then he said, hey, how are you doing? I said, we are in Los Angeles. We want to make a surprise, right? He said, what? Yeah, we are in the airport. We are in the airport of Los Angeles. Clack.
Wow.
Jean-Claude and I went, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, man.
Then we had some change, and we those phone booth, remember? Those black booth. And then we call again, and then we call again, nothing.
Wait, ghosted you. Wow.
Then Jean-Claude goes, try to see that phone of Tyrone Polk he met. He lost it. He didn't have it anymore. So Jean-Claude said, let's go back. We have our return. Let's just go back. I mean, this guy really did bad to us. He said he will have a home. No, we don't have that kind of money to take the hotel and all that. Let's just go back. I said, what? Yeah, let's go back. We have our return ticket.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'll die here or I'll succeed here. I'm not going back. I'm going back because Jean-Claude opened a little bit his mouth there in Brussels, saying, we're going to go to Hollywood doing movies. We're doing it. Fuck, it was like, and I just think if you only were quiet, now we're going to go back. Everybody's going to laugh at our face.
Yourself. Yeah, sure.
I'm not going back. And then I paid my ticket and then of course I didn't want him to go back and to be alone. So I was saying to him, I was trying to find a solution. So I said, Jean-Claude, you know what? Remember the series, TV series, Hawaii 5-0? I said, yeah. I mean, look at us. Remember those Palmeraie, and the beach, the sun, because in Brussels, most of the time it's gray, it's not sunny, don't have any Palmeraie there. I mean, I said, of course, beautiful girls. That I got his attention.
Yeah, okay, he wants to stay now.
So I said, I mean, my God, we came here. I mean, we'll live in the paradise. I said, let's live on the beach, under the tree, under the Palmeraie, and then we swim. And my God, the bus, you have buses here. We'll take the bus for very little money. We go there. And let's just have a good time. We arrived here, and we'll find a solution. And then later on, we can always come back. I just say like that, at least we arrived here. It's too bad just to go back like that. Let's enjoy ourselves a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we did. And then when we were on the beach, Santa Monica, and Venice Beach. I said, oh, you were right, brother. I loved it. And those beautiful girls coming in, you know. And then the beach, the sun, and then we swim. And then it was like a summertime. So in Los Angeles, summertime it's sunny.
Oh, sure.
Anyway, but at the end, it gets cold. at the night, I mean,
Yeah,
nighttime,
sure.
it gets cold. So I remember we were like starting to dance, him and I, you know, because ants come inside our pants, you know. Was like, oh, we were like in a place where you have plenty of ants. So you start there. Doctors start to insult, saying, we should have gone back. Look, we're full of ants now. Anyway, we slept. And what wakes up was the sun, because we slept late. We couldn't really sleep at first. Then time started to warm up, and then we start to sleep. And then I remember we were like starving, but no money.
Mm.
So what are we going to do? So we saw like a Safeway. I remember like a big place. You know Safeway, right? Safeway.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, nice little grocery store. Yeah.
Big grocery store. So we go in, and we smell chicken. You know those chicken they roasted?
The rotisseries, sure.
Yes. And I don't know what they did in those chicken, but the smell was so good. You know, I mean, spice, some great spice. So it's like we were like following that smell. You know, we just wanted to eat. And then we see all those chicken, you know, like going. I said, I look at Jean-Claude. Jean-Claude look at me, and I said, man, you know what? I took a little 25 cents. Let's see who's going to start to eat, and the other one will have to see and check. Okay? For like that, we don't get caught.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I won. I said, go check. I'm taking the chicken. So I go get the chicken. It was so hot, I remember, but I was so hungry.
Oh.
I put it up. And then I start to eat. And then Jean-Claude comes to me. I say, keep watching. I didn't finish my half. So I keep eating my half. And then I say, here's your half. So I start to watch, but then you have those windows really dark. And I'm sure they were having fun because they see us, you know. After that, we put the bones behind those little baby napkins. You know those napkins, wet napkins, baby?
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
sure. Baby wipes,
So
yeah.
we put the bones behind, and we take the napkin, wet napkin, we clean our hand, we put it all there. So, and then what happened is we go to the cashier, and like that we don't come out empty. We just see the people, you know, in the tapis roulant, you know, the place where they put their food, you know, good, plenty, you know. Each one have a lot of merchandise, a lot of things they put, and we put just a chewing gum. So you see like so many stuff in front of us and so many stuff behind us, and we had a chewing gum, right? And then suddenly a black hand, like was like an African security guy, you know, big guy, with the bones and with the towel, you know, that Kleenex we used. We opened up, and he said, he looked at us, and he said, "You forgot your chicken." And we look at him, a huge guy, right? We look at Jean-Claude. Jean-Claude look at me. Jean-Claude say, in French, right? T'as mangé le poulet? Did you eat the chicken? I said, oh, I didn't eat the chicken. And I said, did you eat it? And he says, no. And the guy started to be upset, right? He said, follow me. We follow him to the office. Then he shows us a video, a TV, right? And then he says, is that you? And then we look at the screen. We look at the screen and we say, yes, that's us. You know? So basically, I had to tell him the truth. And I said to the guy from A to Z what happened. And then it was sad for us, I have to say. And he said, I have a big family home. I don't have space, but I just were afraid. He calls the police, and our dream, our passion will go out the window, and then we'll have to go back. Because if they catch you, it's very difficult for someone who did something bad to come back.
That would have been bad.
So anyway, he let us go. So we were happy. So when he let us go, we left, and then we start to look. Nighttime start to go down. Then suddenly we see a name of like kickboxing gym.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go there, and then a guy come out ready to close as he was finished. I explained him also the best I could what happened to us. Finally, he let us in a place to stay. He said, I'm going to close, but tomorrow morning I come early. Of course, the guy doesn't know us. He has like gloves. He has plenty of things there. He's afraid, of course, we take that. So he closed behind us. Said, no problem. We'll just sleep because we don't want any more ants. We had enough ants like that. Anyway, once we were in, I look at the place, smelling. The mirror were dirty, the shower dirty, toilet dirty. I mean, everything was dirty. Even like spider web, the corners.
Mm.
I mean, it was dirty dojo, dirty gym.
Show me one spot on the floor without birching on it.
So it was like little windows, those little windows open like this, So I opened everything for the smell. Say, Jean-Claude, let's clean the place. And I know you didn't want to clean the shower and the toilet, right? So I said, I'll take care of the shower. Just clean the window, the mirror. So we start to clean everything, the corner, the web spider, the ring, everything, le vestiaire. Day after, when he came in the morning, the guy came in. Good thing we find like stall, we find like, Javel, things to clean. We find that there. And goodness. And then when he came in, wow, the guy was very happy. And he says, if you want to stay a few more nights, no problem. So after that, we said, can we just please train a little bit, use the bag and train? You do kickboxing? We said, a little bit. We did that all our life.
Yeah.
And then he says, okay, yeah, of course. No problem. So I start to work. Jean-Claude start to work. The guy was so fucking impressed, I was like, bam, 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 bam. I was like hitting, and he was like hitting with the legs, bam, bam. It was like very, very impressed. He said, my God, that's a little bit. He said, listen, we need some teachers. We need some people to train. Because I was working also with the power, for Jean-Claude. With his legs, he was also taking the power for me to hit, and then basically he said, I have that was our first job. That was our first job.
That worked out.
So that worked out pretty well, and then unfortunately they had some problem. The people he was renting. And then they said they want to demolish, to do a big, with level apartments and sale. Because it was just a little gym, and there they had like levels. So anyway, the guy sold it to like someone from the real estate, and then was very tough for us, very, very tough, brother. From 82 to 86, we really struggled.
We are going to hear all about that struggle. Like, we all know about the success. We all know the amazing films that Van Damme and Qissi did together. But it took them years before they did anything. So what happened during that time?
You got me curious.
You got me curious.
Before we get into that amazing story, though, I want to point out a great supplement company that helped me recently get in the best shape of my life. Check out my Instagram, Viking Samurai. You can see some cool pictures and videos of my recent beach vacation. but these products work. Click the link to find out more about First Form. I highly recommend that. In fact, I can actually help you guys get in the best shape of your lives too. Check out my new Facebook group. I can even be an advisor, but I want to do it through the app that this company has because it basically gives you all this information. You could calculate your calories, do all this, has great training programs, and I can advise you through it and even help you more. Anyway, click the link, find out more about that, join the Facebook group, and I'm actually going to help Tong Po, Mohammed Qissi, get back into fighting shape and have a potential match against none other than Don the Dragon Wilson. Regardless, it's great for anybody to get in the shape, whether it's me for a vacation, whether it's Mohammed for a potential match against Don Wilson, whether it's you because you want to look amazing on the beach or just in your regular life when you get out of the shower. So anyway, click the link, check out the supplements, and if you want me to be your advisor, download the app and choose Viking Samurai as your advisor.
This gentleman, in just 5 years, has joined the front ranks of American action adventure stars. He's done movies such as Lionheart and this Bloodsport.
Was very tough for us, very, very tough, brother. From 82 to 86, we really struggled. And we were going to that discotheque, Carlos in Charlie's, and then, you had like tips on the table and all that coming. So we were taking the tips, we were drinking. Really, it was very hard because everything was very, very expensive. We were going to Beverly Center. Yeah, there you have a place with shrimps and all that, And we eat, right? We take the bag instead of going to the cashier to pay. We put it in the garbage and we come out.
We got ourselves a deadbeat back here.
So anyway, we did different things to survive. Basically, what happened, at one point, he met a girl. He met Cindy Derderian, which was his second wife, because his first wife, he was very young in Belgium, with Melly from Venezuela, originally from Caracas. A beautiful woman, but just stayed a year or two, and then they finished. And then his second wife was Cindy Derderian, okay, living in Newport Beach. And I was happy for him, I was happy for him. And very wealthy guy, her father. Mm-hmm. He had even a street on his name, Derderian Street.
Wow.
And then he had a beautiful place. The father paid for the whole wedding, beautiful wedding. So Jean-Claude had some money, the father was keeping some of the money in case of something happened. But then with that, they buy, I remember, a diamond ring. They give it to her. So I find a work. I find like a work in, he was like gluing carpets at the manufactory of her father, because her father made a fortune with carpets. Armenian, they're known, Armenia, they're known for their carpets, Turkey, Armenia, they do beautiful
Yeah, that's
carpets.
interesting, because I heard Van Damme laid carpets before he, made it in Hollywood, so that's cool to get the origin story. So that's how he ended up getting that job.
Yeah, absolutely. That was his work there. And, the father wanted to know what kind of guy it is, what I'm saying, of course, so father of the spouse, they're always very careful. So his daughter really fell in love with Jean-Claude. So anyway, I was working on a pizza restaurant and a Chinese restaurant to make a maximum of money. Mm-hmm. I was known also to clean apartments, especially the kitchen, the fridge, And then I start to be known very honest, things like that. People talk, and then I just take those big, like fridge, kitchen, clean on the back. So I was working very, very hard, and then sleep little, and then put money on the side, eating in the restaurant. So I didn't have to spend money in the restaurant. I have to spend money for eating. So money always on the side. Yeah. And then I, with the moped, going, delivering food, was cannelloni manicotti, I remember, in the oven. I was burning myself in the pizza restaurant. And then after I was delivering pizza, and also after, at nighttime, it was like delivering a Chinese restaurant. One day in Beverly Hills, who opens the door? It's Ringo Starr. So I give him the food, and he give him, I remember, $100 bill. That didn't happen every day, but time to time, I got like big tips.
Nice tip, yeah.
Putting on the side, putting on the side, putting on the side. So anyway, at one point, Jean-Claude say, I have enough. Those people, I mean, they don't believe in me. They think I dream because they know I want to do movies. So I just say, just be patient, Jean-Claude. Look where you live. Look what, I mean, look at where I live. I was living with like Mexican people who were cleaning the dishes in the restaurant, and was one room with 4 beds. And look at me. I said, look at where you are. Yeah, but I didn't come here to glue carpets and that. It was like, really irritated. So I got to talk to him, and he got back. He got back then after like 2-3 times like that. And then the final time was very bad. He really got to a big fight with her. And then he came in, and then I said, Jean-Claude, you know what? I said, because, he was also upset. He didn't give back the ring, anyway, I spoke to the dad. I was like, I said, it's okay, Jean-Claude, forget about it. No. I spoke to the daddy. I said, I really apologize. And this, so we arranged things the best we could. But anyway, I said to Jean-Claude, look, I remember I put at that time $11,000. I said, here, because he came out from there, nothing, no money. Mm. If I say something like that to my father and to send me money, he said he's going to get really upset. I said I didn't want that, of course, because he's going to make sure to have Jean-Claude back at home in Brussels. So I just said, don't say nothing, don't say nothing. And I remember we were writing to our parents. No, we don't like to write. Jean-Claude don't like to write, and I don't like to write. So what we do like cassette tapes, tapes, yeah. And and then I remember the first time, when we were really have a very, very tough time, hard time, Jean-Claude started to say the truth. We have this, we have that, problems, this. At that time where the guy closed the phone and we were on the beach, we had to let know our family we arrived well. So basically, we did that tape, we sent it, but he started to say the truth. I said, I don't know. I said, what are you doing? Jean-Claude, let me talk. I mean, because if you say the truth, the parents are going to say, come back home.
Sure.
That's all they're going to say, come back home. The guy lied to you. He said he has a home, he has this, he has that, and you have nothing. You're on the street, you come back home. You have your return ticket, come back home. So I was afraid of that. I said, no, Jean-Claude, no. And then I start to talk. And I said, papi, mommy, because Eugène and Eliane, I was calling them since little papi, mommy. And then also I sent to my parents, my family, same thing, basically saying, wow, we are in that big mansion in Beverly Hills, beautiful, the swimming pool, the fridge is full. We are doing great, So basically that's what we sent to them. And I'll come back to, I wanted to say that anecdote because it's important to say to the young out there to really worry your parents.
I'm not hiding my eyes.
Then take off the glasses.
Come on,
now.
Sometimes, because a lot of young people worry their parents so much, and that's not good. Anyway, basically, I say to him, $11,000, I'll come out of my job, I'll stop. We have $11,000, we'll go knock on the doors. We go do whatever we can to do movies. So basically, Jean-Claude was happy. He said, wait, good, great. Loved it. And then I said, we need a better place because, and then I find a place. We find that Jean-Claude and I, Norton Avenue, I remember, $730 a month. Mm-hmm. Janet Aglenti, the manager of the complex, apartment complex, 50 years old, she's also into screenplay, and we were writing a screenplay, Jean-Claude and I, called Atlas. Nice story, by the way. We start to talk about screenplay, and then say, and then we start to be friends with the manager, Janet Agnetti. She started to help us with the screenplay. Basically, we worked with someone, Atlas, in Belgium, who likes to write, but we give the ideas. Jean-Claude gives ideas, I give ideas, and the guy in Brussels who knew also, he writes very well, right? So basically we had it in French, then we had it translate in English because we knew we'll go to Hollywood to show to people, they don't know French.
Sure.
Anyway, we start slowly, but our English, of course, was getting much better at that time, was hard the six first month, but then after a year, 2 years, 3 years, we start to do very well. So when we said the name, Frank Cujo, because she saw the picture, nice picture, wow, so that split, she loved it, right? But she said, don't like the name, Frank Cujo, what is that? She says, Frank, it's too much like a truck driver. We didn't know that, right? That's what she said to us. It's too much like a truck driver. And Cujo is the name of a dog in a movie.
Yeah, with rabies.
So she said, no good, Frank Cujo. She said, what about, Jean-Claude? Jean-Claude, it's good. I mean, Van Varenberg, even though you have Schwarzenegger. But at that time, she said, okay. She said, Van Varenberg, I can understand we maybe find something. Then I start, my friend, Paul Van Damme, passed away. I say, Jean-Claude, that would be homage. That would be something for our friend. What about Van Damme? Then when she hears Van Damme, Jean-Claude Van Damme, with that American accent. That's nice. That's nice. And that's how he got his name.
That's a great name. That's an amazing name. The coolest name ever.
And Van Damme, actually, it's a city in Belgium, a small city, beautiful, near Oudskerk, near Knokkelzoet. You have a place called Van Damme. And then this guy, I remember when I went to the cemetery there, that's where he went to the cemetery because that's his Racine, his origin. So what happened is we basically try to make it, right? At the same time, we did send like letters from Brussels to people, right?
Did you write letters to America at one time? Thousands. And to actors or producers or what?
And then we send, letters to Stallone, to Schwarzenegger, to Chuck Norris, to Charles Bronson. And the one who answered to us, because we send the magazine with martial arts, the one who answered to us was Chuck Norris.
Okay.
The one who answered to us. And he was living in Rolling Hills. First, Janet Agnetti says to us, you have Dramalog. It's a newspaper every Wednesday. Take it. There you have open casting call, and all that. And so we start to take that magazine, Dramalog. And I start at the same time, it's $730. I mean, a month, that money is going to go fast and I need more time. And I was already thinking about that, So I spoke to Janet Agnetti and we ran to a girl, beautiful girl, Tony. She was looking, because I said to Janet Agnetti, please, we have 2 rooms. I'll stay a room with Jean-Claude, and the other room we rented like that, She said, no problem. And then one day she called, I have a girl. And then we met her, beautiful, stunning, and very sweet. And she paid $400 because it was a good deal for her, And then we paid $330. So that was better for us.
Yeah.
We ate things like rice, we try to be careful with the food. We try to have that $11,000, trying to stay as long as we can, to try to get something going. because I really didn't want to go back to do, delivery,
Yeah.
One time they almost killed me. An old woman couldn't see, and she burned a green light. She hit me and my moped, the food. I mean, I was lucky there. Anyway, so basically there we start drama, right? And then many places we went, Jean-Claude was like discouraged at one point, and I was like, we just have to be patient. We just have to be patient. We just have to keep working, keep believing, keep, money was coming down, right? So then at one point, I saw Dramalog. Of course, we were looking at Dramalog. Every Wednesday we buy a Dramalog, but we saw Hunter, Schwarzenegger, Robert Davis, Joel Silver, John Martinian, 20th Century Fox. Because later on, they changed the name. They put Predator. But at the time, it was Hunter at first. So, and then I look at it and they say 6'2", very muscular, very acrobatic. And the face, we see half of the face. The other half is going to be different. It's supposed to be extraterrestrial. That's the first idea they had. Then Jean-Claude turned the page. I say, hold on, why? I say, why you turn the page? I say, I'm not 6'2". I say, you're not 6'2", but look what they say. Muscular, you are muscular. Acrobatic, you are acrobatic, because he did some ballet also. The ballet dancing helped him to be, nice, have a nice movement, acrobatic. So and with martial arts also, he learned also different acrobatic things, like 10 guys, one next to the other one, right? And he was jumping and going to, Jean-Claude was very acrobatic.
Sure.
So basically, I convinced him. We go. Then when we arrived there, we were the last. I remember Joel Silver comes out, Robert Davis. At first, I didn't know them. It's after I knew who was who. Jean-Claude was with a leotard, because he always trained with leotard, right? And I told him, put the leotard, show you like that, because when you put clothes on, you don't see anything. So leotard, like he trains all the time. Your clothing of training, military jacket, green military jacket. He always had that green military jacket. And then he saw him, right? I heard like over 800 people.
Wow.
For the casting to be inside that alien. So thank God when they came out, they were not happy. So I believe they didn't find anybody, right? And they saw Jean-Claude. Okay. So went in. Big place, right? Empty. John McTiernan talked to Jean-Claude and says, imagine it's a jungle. I want you to be like a felon. I remember. Like a tiger. Just go. Move. I want you to jump and give me some acrobatic things. But I always had something with Jean-Claude, because like every human being, you need motivation, That's why a coach is very important. Anyway, so I was a thing with him. It's like when he do interview, I will look at them. He doesn't need to look at them. They don't need to look at me. They look at him, right? But you need to look at me. If I do this, the reaction is very good. But if I do this, the reaction is bad. The thing is, I never do this. I just tell him. So basically, he goes and do his things, right? He does all that. But cold. He was not in it. I see them kind of, I said, I go right away like this, They love what they're watching, right? But not the case. He changed. Jean-Claude was like that. Little bit of motivation, that's it. He turned on somebody else. And then he started some unbelievable things. And then they say, okay, come. So, so they say, you're going to Puerto Vallarta. And before they finish, Jean-Claude said, yeah, but what about my friend, about me, And He comes with you, no problem. But first, Boss Film, Marina del Rey. That's a place where they were doing all those special effects. And I saw and I recognized some things of some horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
So once we arrived there, Richard coming. Thank God he was a nice guy. John McTiernan, say, hey, boxer, you know, champion, his friend, and they're with you. John McTiernan was in a hurry. He left. John McTiernan, the director, which I didn't know at that time he was the director. He had like a jeans, like a, you know, he was like a really, his clothing, not shaving. He was like, you know, I said, maybe just, you know, even he talked to him about the scene and all that, but I didn't realize he was the director, you know. Just thought he was like something like someone working the casting.
Mm-hmm.
And then Richard say to us, look at Jean-Claude and say, okay, did you do already some mole in your face? Did you do some cast before? First, he showed a statuette. Statuette means the alien, right? Mm-hmm. Nothing to do with the one you saw in Predator. It was something else, right? Very impressive. I think you have some pictures with that.
Yeah, they've been some online, sure.
But you see me there with him helping.
Oh, with you helping him. Yeah, that's a cool picture.
Yeah. Anyway, before that, before we arrived there, I remember we did that. We met again Tyrone Pork, and we did the part in breakdance. We did all that, okay, as extra part, and we were so happy already. Anyway, in Belgium, when they saw us in breakdance, they said, "Oh my God, they made it." That's an extra part, but they were already impressed. So imagine when we did those movies like Bloodsport, Kickboxer.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Anyway, Richard shows that Jean-Claude was pissed. He looked at me because he thought he will have half of the face, like he was written in Dramalog. And they said, no, they changed. It's going to be in the neck of the animal, and then like a metal here with the face of the alien. So, and then also the mole, you know, we need to put all the, you know, plaster, like liquid, and then just a little hole here to be able to breathe. And then Jean-Claude didn't like it. And Richard saw that. And I was like, oh, fuck. I said, I'm sorry, Richard. Can I have just one moment? Richard said, yeah, okay, no problem. Sweet guy. So I go on the side with Jean-Claude. I said, what are you doing? He said, well, you know, I am claustrophobic, and, you know, I cannot handle that. And they're lying. They said half of the face is going to be real. The other face, you know, no, it's the whole thing. We're not even going to see me. And I said, Jean-Claude, let me see what I can do, just slowly. Okay, let me see. What about if we do half of the face? And then like that, you can see. I mean, come on, it's important, brother. I say, you know, Schwarzenegger, 20th Century Fox, look at my money. My money is coming down, brother. I mean, we need that money. They given us like $300 each every day. So we cannot spit on that. I said, we cannot spit on that. It's like $600, 300 for him, 300 for me every day.
Wow.
I mean, come on, brother. What are you doing? Yeah, but I am claustrophobic. But let me see what I can do. Let's see if half, we can do half. And then you see half. Yeah, he says, half, it's good. It's okay, he says. Okay. So I go to Richard. When I give him the idea, he says, listen, let's forget about it. Because, of course, you need the full, you know what I'm saying? You cannot have half. You can't do that. This prosthetic would not work. So I didn't know that. Anyway, I said, listen, he had a fight in Japan, you know, and he basically got hit in the knee, you know, with a knee hit in here, around here. And I said, you know, but he won the fight. He won the fight because Jean-Claude is hearing, so I cannot say he lost the fight. He won the fight. And then 3 days blind. He couldn't see anymore. So he has that's why you need to give me just some time to talk to him, please. Then he was like, I said, yeah, he had really a bad accident and I need just to talk to him, please give me one. He said, okay, one more time, because the guy was busy. He had a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, I go to Jean-Claude. I say, Jean-Claude, I say, do you trust me? He says, of course I trust you. I say, listen, you're going to hold my hand while they're going to put that thing on you. I'll be next to you, holding your hand. If everything is okay, just go like this time to time. Just go like this on my, then I'll know everything is okay. But if it's not okay, go quick. Then I take out everything. He says, okay, there, it's good. He said, that's good. And honestly, I was going to keep my word. I was going to do it. I sit down next to him. They start to put the thing, hold his hand. And those guys were looking. They said, what's wrong with those two, So, and then what happened is he was signed to my hand, going like this. Sure. I didn't understand. It was not this, the card, it was just. Then when we finished, I said, Jean-Claude, what happened? I mean, you hurt my hand, I said, what is it? He said, no, I was feeling good, so I was afraid you take everything out. Basically, at that time, we were supposed to meet two girls in the piano bar on 385 Cienega Drive. Who comes out? Menachem Golan. And we were trying to get hold of him. Nothing. Yeah, I forgot to tell you the story about Chuck Norris.
Yeah, we need to get that. We have to get that. Hey guys, you ever wonder what happened between Jean-Claude Van Damme and Chuck Norris? I know you've probably seen pictures back in the day. You've probably seen the training footage. On IMDb, he's even listed in the credits for missing in action as a soldier, though it says uncredited. But he's really the one missing in action from that movie. He's more invisible in that than he was in the movie Predator, because he was the cloaked guy when the invisibility thing in Predator you see. I know what you're probably thinking, by the way. Where can I get an amazing computer chair like this? This is like the Ferrari of computer chairs. It's so comfortable. It's so stylish. I could save you 20%. Click the link below and you could get your own EWIN gaming racing chair. Now, obviously, you don't have to be a gamer to enjoy this chair. Anybody working at home, anybody making videos like me on YouTube, anyone just relaxing, this chair is amazing. Trust me. Click the link, use my discount code VS, you'll save 20%.
We did send letters from Brussels to people, right? Letters to Stallone, Schwarzenegger, to Chuck Norris, to Charles Bronson. And the one who answered to us, because we sent the magazine with martial arts, the one who answered to us was Chuck Norris.
Okay.
The one who answered to us. And he was living in Rolling Hills. So Chuck, we went to Rolling Hills and he opens the door. Quite lucky,
Mm-hmm.
Because Sylvester Stallone, trust me, that was not the case. Sylvester Stallone, we tried.
Oh, so you just went to Sylvester Stallone's house? Like you knocked on his door or something?
We were there. We didn't knock. We stayed outside with the magazine. And then the limousine came in. We stayed many hours because we heard he was there.
Mm-hmm.
We spoke, we asked. And then the bodyguard comes out. And then he takes the magazine. We go. And then he gives it to Stallone. But nothing happened. Things happen after other things. With Stallone, but that's again another story.
So many good stories.
Believe me, let's stick on Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris, very nice. He remembered, of course, the magazine, everything, and we trained with him and with his assistant, who was also a champion. But he assisted him in training and all that. His name is Howard Jackson. He's a black guy, very sweet guy. So we started to train, 4 of us.
Van Damme, trained with me for 1.5 years when he came over from Brussels, so I know him quite well. And he's a good martial artist.
À l'époque, Jean-Claude Van Damme est au sommet de son sport, mais pour lui, ce n'est pas suffisant. Il en veut toujours plus. Il veut faire du cinéma et il voit les choses en grand. Son rêve, conquérir Hollywood.
So I remember one day he invited us to Palm Springs.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly Chuck Norris, I will always remember, and with a kick, because before that he was calling me Michael, because Michel is more French, because in America it's more for girls. So anyway, he was calling me Michael, but then after he asked me my real name, when I gave him Mohammed, he started to call me Mohammed. Anyway, Michel, Michael Catalina, that's something you know, but Michel, that's another story. Anyway, we were there with in Palm Spring, and then suddenly Chuck Norris with a big kick, right? And Howard Jackson and Jean-Claude behind Chuck Norris look at me. I came in, and he says, "Happy birthday to you, Mohammed. Happy." He was like, it was not my birthday. So I was like, and Jean-Claude behind Chuck Norris, he just wanted to have a nice cake. He did this to me. So I said, thank you for my birthday. So anyway, time goes on, we keep training, and at one time, Chuck Norris says, listen, I have to go to Philippines for one of the missing in action. Howard Jackson has to go for a fight against André Brilleman in Amsterdam. No, we have a problem. The manager, the coach, he has problem with passport, so he didn't have his document to travel to Amsterdam. He was a Mexican, and he said, "Listen, one of you can go with Howard Jackson if you want to." He says, "Everything paid, of course." And then the other one will come with me to help me in my training in Philippines. So I directly said to Jean-Claude, go with Chuck Norris. I mean, go with him. I'll go with Howard Jackson. And that's what happened. I went to Amsterdam. I lost my voice. He lost the fight. But 12th round, got his leg broken. André Brilleman was very powerful with his low kick and broke his leg.
Wow.
I was saying to him, just stick, because he was very strong, Howard Jackson, with his head, with his fist. He was first champion in boxing. So I say, stick and you know, hit, stick. I was like screaming, and he stayed 12 rounds. He stayed until the end. But at the end, hospital, and then his leg broken, plaster. And then he went back to America. I said I would do a hook to see my family in Brussels, because Brussels is just next, Belgium is just next to Holland. So I went to see my family, and then I came back. But I heard Jean-Claude had problems. Why? Because Eric Van de Weeg was in Philippines. He has very wealthy family in Knock-Klezut. He met Jean-Claude in Philippines because he was also in businesses there. Eric Van de Weeg, and they went to the discotheque and all that, and he left Chuck Norris. So Chuck Norris was upset, and I was upset. I said, "Fuck, why did you miss that? That was an opportunity." So I was upset. Anyway, time goes on. That's basically the story, how it ends the relationship with Chuck Norris.
Wait, so Van Damme, wasn't he supposed to be an extra in Missing in Action 3? I've never seen him in that movie.
No. He was supposed, Chuck Norris wanted him to assist him for his workout, like we were doing for almost 6 months in his house. You know, when we went to Palm Spring and all that, we spent a lot of time together with his son. You know, you have like Dan, you have a Mike Norris, his son, his wife. So we were spending time with them in their home, and we were training all the time with him for a long time.
And there's a German TV show. There's footage online of a German TV show with Van Damme training with Chuck Norris.
Durch hartes Training und sehr viel Glück wurde er Weltmeister. Das war 1968.
That show was done when I was gone already with Howard Jackson.
Oh, so, okay. So that's why you
right away there. That was the date. Also, he was right away after that show. He left for Philippines to help Chuck Norris. But as I told you, he met someone from Belgium. His name is Eric Van de Weeg in Philippines, and discotheque, girls and all that. And Chuck was, of course, disappointed, and I was disappointed.
Americans are bad, right?
Life goes on. And
so Mohammed, just so I'm clear, Van Damme was supposed to train and spend all his time with Chuck out there, but then he got too involved with the discotheque in the Philippines.
Girls.
And then Chuck was like, that's not cool.
Of course, he's there to help him, not to go to this.
Not to party with girls and stuff. Okay.
So anyway.
Man, I really wish Chuck Norris and Van Damme could have worked on a movie together.
You can't always get what you want.
But either way, man, we can't get everything we want, but you could still save 20% on something I know you really want if you want to be comfortable in a great computer chair. Remember, click the link, use my discount code VS.
Listen carefully what I say, okay? Then after you will know. I mean, you heard things, you heard this, and then whoever will believe what he wants to believe. Of course, I'm just telling you the story.
Hey guys, if there's one thing I try to do on the channel, and a lot of people appreciate this, they've told me, is that I do try to get multiple sides of stories because I feel like we get closer to the truth, and depending on who's telling the story, we get different pieces of the puzzle to try to figure everything out, right? So, as far as Van Damme goes, how he got the role of Bloodsport, so many different factors involved, and people tell the story differently. Van Damme tells it one way, Menachem Golan tells it another way. In this interview, Mohammed Qissi, most detailed explanation and version of anything because he was with Van Damme. And of course, even like Sheldon Lettich talked about him and Mark Dussel seeing Van Damme on screen in No Retreat, No Surrender. And, you know, they kind of told Frank Dukes at the time, hey, you know, I think this guy could play you in a movie Bloodsport. So I'm sure that even had something to do with Van Damme getting the role. But just to kind of catch everyone up to speed, I want to show you an animated clip of Van Damme telling the story. This is a story told by Van Damme through a series of different interview clips, all mashed up with original animation from Sam, a fellow JCVD fan, and he wanted to share this with all of us, so thanks, Sam. If you want to check out his YouTube channel, by the way, it's linked in the description below. It's called The Van Damme Project, and I mean, that title alone is pretty intriguing, right? So check it out. See what he's up to, man. It's pretty cool.
I always want to meet Menachem Golan because, you know, it's #1 action film in the States right now.
I met the guy in Milano. But when I met him on Sunset, he came out of La Cienega, and he was with some Chinese people. I've got to impress him. I said, Menachem, Jean-Claude. Where is Jean-Claude? Where is Jean-Claude? I said, Van Damme from Milano, remember? And I go, Van Damme!
I kicked above his head, he was, wow, you know? And he heard them go, oh, so when he heard them being impressed, not himself, he gave me his card.
You had to wait for 6 hours in an office to...
That's nothing. I was in the office, so I was happy. I can wait 3 days and night. It's to be in the office, took me 5 years to be in that office.
I did the split between 2 chairs, all that stuff. I showed my muscle. Then he said to me, Van Damme, Chuck Norris is a star. Michael Dudakov is a star. He'll never be a star. And I heard that voice, you can ask him, to say, go around the desk. You better to beg right now. I start to cry. And I go in back. I say, please, anything. You have no little part, anything. And he seen my eyes, the guy was going to kill himself. He goes, sit down, sit down. He said, you want a glass of milk? I said, yeah. You want some cookies? I said, yeah. Put. He think. And he go, Karin, bring me Bloodsport. You want to be a star? You're gonna be a star. Like that.
It was like a mission for like 6-7 years, and one day, boom, Bloodsport, my first shot, and I became successful.
Great story, right? Well, that's the Cliff Notes version. We're about to go in deep, super in-depth with the long version told by Mohammed Qissi. You're gonna be blown away.
We were supposed to meet 2 girls in piano bar. In the piano bar on 385 Cienega Drive. Who comes out? Menachem Golan. And we were trying to get hold of him. Nothing. Piano bar. Very important. Menachem comes out. We were trying to get hold of him, right? We got hold of certain Bob. We gave pictures. We gave everything. Never any news. And then suddenly we see Menachem Golan coming out from that restaurant, piano bar. He comes out kind of drunk, right? We see him. Hey, Menachem, how are you? Remember MIF Milano? Oh, yeah, he speaks a little bit French with his heavy Jewish accent. And he gave us his business card. call me. We have a new office on San Vicente Boulevard, like a building, you know?
Mohammed, though, is this the time where Van Damme was showing off with his kicks at the restaurant?
He came to me in a restaurant, you know, and he jumped his foot above my head while he was holding 2 plates of soup, which did not move. And I thought, if he can do that, then he can kick like a real martial artist, and he could. And he came to us, and a month later we produced already the first film, Bloodsport, yeah, which was a big success all over the world.
Hold on, let me explain you. I'm coming there.
Okay.
Listen carefully what I say, okay? Then after you will know. I mean, you heard things, you heard this, and then whoever will believe what he wants to believe. Of course, I'm just telling you the story. Anyway, so that's what happened. Drunk comes out, no kick, nothing there, no kicking, nothing. The guy drunk comes out and gives his business card saying, call me. I remember you, yeah, in MIF Festival. Okay, call me. We just have a new place. Great, we know his new address now because we didn't know, you know, we were going to the old address. We never find him. Now we know his new address. Oh my God, we were inside. We were so excited in piano bar. And the 2 girls were so upset because we didn't give them time. And then they left. And then Jean-Claude said, good. And then we talked and we started to dream, you know, about, about the meeting of Menachem.
Mm-hmm.
We were there, Norton Avenue, in our apartment. Early in the morning, wake up. I said, Jean-Claude, let's go. He said, what do you mean? Where do we go? I said, we'll go have a breakfast and then we go to see Menachem. Huh? What do you mean? He says to call him. I said, let's go there. I said, let's go there, brother. Enough of calling and this. The secretary did this. Enough of that. Let's just go, brother. Are you sure? I mean, you know, the guy, it's not good. I said, just let's just go. Trust me. We have nothing to lose at this point, please. So he says, okay. And we go have our breakfast usual. I mean, usual, time to time, we go to Duke's. It's called a Duke's restaurant. And they had the best tuna melt, brother. With like, I remember they put strawberry, they put some little bit of salad, and it was like big, right? And we were sharing. But then when we start to have money, of course, with 20th Century Fox, that's different. You know, we had both our breakfast, but it was big anyway. So we eat. Sorry to take time with food, it's because I love food. So anyway, we go to San Vicente Boulevard. So listen to this. We still have our Volkswagen there. We come out of the car, and I remember it was a corner, right? Corner. And then I will always remember that the wind was strong, right? So to tell you, I had to grab the corner of the building to go for the entrance. And Jean-Claude, when he see that wind and all that, he says to me, that's a sign of God. It's not good. Let's go back. I said, I made like I didn't hear him, right? Like I didn't understand what he said. So anyway, with the wind, with a lot. So we go in entrance. There was all the security there.
I did not come this far to stop now.
And then they say, yes, can we help you? And I lie there. I say, oh, yeah, we have a meeting with Menachem Golan. We just had a dinner with him last night in the piano bar. And the guy says, hold on. And Jean-Claude look at me, you know, what the fuck? I mean, you want us to have problems or what? At that point, we have nothing to lose, man. We tried so many things. My God. So I said, enough is enough, brother. Anyway, call, penthouse, I remember, call, wait, then come back and go, okay, go, penthouse. He's waiting for you. So what happened is because I was betting on that, I was hoping he was so drunk, he didn't know what, you know? So, yeah, I was in the piano bar. So, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I was playing with that. So listen to this very carefully now. The elevator. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, penthouse. Always remember. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, penthouse. We push penthouse. Follow me, brother, because I'm going to take you to a nice story here. No, we arrive to the penthouse and we hear screaming Menachem Golan on a deal of over the top with Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, wow.
I know he was asking something like $20 million, but finally he got $12 million.
Double that.
Nobody got that at that time. Nobody. Only someone like Stallone with, of course, Rocky, Rambo. He was like, woof. He was the best paid actor at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about 1985. And then Jean-Claude said, let's get the fuck out. He's going crazy. I said, shut up. He just wanted, he said, but we're lying. We eat with him. He says, what are we going to say to the guy? I mean, and then suddenly Menachem Golan comes out. Ah, it's you. He said, he thought he was, somebody else. Okay, go to the second floor and go see Bob. So I look at the guy, I said, Menachem Golan, thank you. We go see him, thank you. And we go. So you happy now? We have to go see Bob. We go to the elevator. Listen to this. Where does Jean-Claude push? Tell me, help me, brother.
2?
You tell me, where he push? Jean-Claude, where he push in the elevator?
Second floor. No, first floor, back to 0 to go leave?
Yes, he pushed fucking 0.
Wow.
I pushed 2.
You got to see Bob.
For penthouse, we go to 2. Yeah, but don't forget, we already went see Bob. Not one time, not 2 times, always negative.
So he just basically wanted to leave then.
He liked Jean-Claude. You understand what I mean? He liked Jean-Claude. Okay? So, Jean-Claude, of course, loves girls, right?
Yeah,
understand?
Yeah, Bob likes guys.
Understand me. We go on the second floor. We go see Bob. Jean-Claude was not happy, but he followed me. I see Bob.
What are you doing here?
See, Menachem Golan told us to come and see you and this and that. What? You are trying to go above my head. I remember that. No, not trying to go above your head. We just met him in the piano bar and we came see him because he gave us the business card. So I try to, So no, not that. He says, listen, I have all your documents. I have everything, he says. And he looked at Jean-Claude and he says, and you know what you have to do.
You get down on your hands and knees.
I mean, like that, to Jean-Claude.
I don't think so. You don't think so?
And I say, Mr. Bob, sorry, but, we don't have nothing against nobody, but we love girls. I said, please understand,
I don't punk. Okay, take it easy.
Okay. So anyway, I will call you if we have anything.
I was just jerking you around. You don't have to have a hairball about it.
And then we go. Thank God his phone was ringing. Because I was afraid he goes with us out. I was just afraid of that. I say, listen, we don't want to disturb you more. You have your work, And then he sees us. No, we're going on. That's it. We'll just wait. You call us whenever you have something. Thank you so much. And then we leave, and he goes to his office. Anyway, we go back to the elevator. What does Jean-Claude push? You tell me.
0.
He's quick at it. Yes. What do I do?
Penthouse.
No, you cannot, because when you're in the elevator and you push down, you go down, man. So what do I do?
Well, you go with them, and then you go back to the penthouse.
No. We are in the second floor. Think about it.
You take the stairs.
No. Yes, but no. After I push 1, we in the elevator. I push 1.
Okay. So it stops.
I push 1, he push 0, I push 1. So from second floor, we go down to 1, opens the door. Jean-Claude don't want to come out. I take him, you come out with me. I said, it's cool. I was like upset there, I was like, so. And there I took the stair, very, very good. There I took the stair with Jean-Claude back to the penthouse. Jean-Claude said, you a fucking sick motherfucker. I said, we are not coming here to kill anybody. We are not coming here to do anything bad. We just want to have a moment with Menachem Golan because we've been here for years. I almost spent all my fucking money. I want to do something. We need something to, Menachem Golan sees us because when he came out earlier, he went to Joachim Globus, his cousin. He went there because Joachim Globus was associated to Menachem Golan. Joachim Globus, he was more administrative. And Menachem was more artistic. And they were forming a very strong team. Yeah. That's why in the 80s, they were the stronger independence. Canon production was the stronger at that time,
Yeah.
Bronson, Chuck Norris, he just signed Master of the Universe. That I had it in my head. And you come back, you understand after, because he played the bad guy against Stallone in Rocky. So they got him for Master of the Universe. So all that was in my head. See big poster, Dolph Lundgren, Master of the Universe. So you'll understand later. Menachem Golan sees us. He sees us next to his office. Oh, you didn't see Bob? Did you see Bob? I said, yeah, we went to see Bob. We didn't find him. I said, we didn't find Bob. We went to the second floor. But you know what? If you don't have time to see us, we just leave. We don't want to disturb you. Sorry. And then he says, you know what? You're going to come in, but just 2 minutes. I said, no problem. 2 minutes is good enough. I said, 2 minutes is good enough. Thank you. So we went back sitting down. He went to his office. The secretary comes in, give us coffee. I'm sure Menachem said, the guys there, you give them some. Anyway, she came, give us. Jean-Claude was, he started to drink that coffee. And then he says to me, but what are we going to do there inside the office? I said, you know what? He's a Jewish. So you know what we do with Jewish? We have to be like we are in a market selling carpets. We need to show the best thing we can show. So I started to talk like that. I mean, I have another story, great story, where we do like Saudi, we dress Saudi. He was like my servant just to go and drive with Rolls Royce. My God, that's another story. And we were doing crazy things, man. Anyway, I said, you know what? As soon as we come in, I'll put up, because we have only 2 minutes. He says, yeah, what do I do? I said, a chair here, go on your split. That's the first thing you do. Go on your split. Like that. He says, okay. And then I'm going to take the magazine and the picture and put it on the office front of Menachem. He sees the pictures. Okay. He says, okay. Then they call us. Secretary said, come in, go in. He's waiting for it. We go in. And then Menachem Golan with his Tommy, and then his glasses, I remember. And then the first thing, I go to the chair, and he says, man, those guys are fucking crazy, The Menachem was like, with his tongue out. He look at us. And then I show the pictures, and then he sees us, and okay. And then he put back his glass like that. He looked at us, and then he says, okay, I have your information. If we need you, we will call you. I said in myself, that's not good, man. I felt if we go out, we never would have another chance. So I said, I came close to Menachem slowly, and I said, with all the respect I owe you, Mr. Menachem, you are making a very big mistake. He says, what? I say Jean-Claude Van Damme is playing the bad guy against Schwarzenegger in the movie Hunter, which become Predator.
Yeah, sure.
He says, what? I said, yes. Then we start to look at the pictures a little bit closer, you know, Jean-Claude kicking. And then he look at me and he says, he's playing the heavy. First time I hear that, because I always hear the bad guy, the villain. But the heavy, first time. I just say yes. The heavy means the bad guy. He's playing the heavy. I said, yes. Hold on. Helen, come over here. The secretary. He asked her to call Jackie Birch, was the casting director, 20th Century Fox, for this movie and for other movies. A very famous casting director, Jackie Birch. And then she comes back, and I was praying, brother. I was praying. I was praying there. I never prayed so hard there. Because Jean-Claude, we used to go. I mean, we have another story. That's, you know, because my origin, you know, I come from a Muslim family, come from a Christian family, so we were going to pray every Friday at the mosque, and then we were going to pray every Sunday at the church. Like that, we have two chants: Prophet Muhammad, Jesus Christ. Two chants. And that's where we had our pact, you know, from the beginning. We were on the street, nothing, you know, we had nothing. So we were like always saying, you know, if we succeed, please just help us. For years, praying like that, every Friday, every Sunday.
Tu m'as donné mon rêve. Je l'ai demandé.
We promise you, 50% of our money will go to animal and handicap. And the other 50% will be 25 for Jean-Claude, 25 for me. That pact is, whatever we win, just work, we leave our passion, and we will share whatever we have. That was our pact.
Et je t'ai promis quelque chose en échange. Je ne l'ai pas encore délivré.
Anyway, there, what happened, Helen comes back, the secretary, and says, yes, Van Damme is playing the heavy against Schwarzenegger. But she didn't mention he was inside the costume. Jackie Birch, you know, those people are stressed, man. Do you know how much work they have? They have to be quick. They don't have time. She's working for 20th Century Fox. Helen is working for Canon Production. They have no time. They go straight to the point.
Yeah.
I mean, he's playing the villain. Because, you know, when you saw Predator, you have the villain. Who's the villain? The alien.
Yeah.
What did you mention? It's in costume. And I was like, thanking God. God. You know, I was like, Jean-Claude didn't understand nothing. He was like, honesty. Because I look at him. I was like, the first thing he did, Menachem Golan, he went to the draw and he said, we're going to make 3 picture deal. And your first movie is going to be Bloodsport.
Wow.
And he put the screenplay on the office. That's the story, brother.
That's amazing.
That's the story, brother.
Like, without Predator, he would have never got Bloodsport.
Of course not.
That's crazy.
And if we didn't meet him also at that, you have to add that. If we didn't meet him in Piano Bar, we even if you have that movie, we couldn't, you know, it will be too late because he will find out on the movie, even if we go after he comes out, he will find out he's in a costume.
Like the perfect timing.
Timing. That's why when we were in Puerto Vallarta, we didn't want to do the movie. We wanted to go to do Bloodsport.
So let's get the end of the Predator story, because so you guys got your 3-picture deal. So Van Damme on that day in the office signs the 3-picture deal.
No, it's not like that.
No.
No. Do you have a lawyer? Yes, we have a lawyer. Okay, we will contact him and we'll send the 3-picture deal, and then we'll go back and forth. And we were so afraid. I mean, you have to understand. We couldn't sleep, man, because we were afraid if Jean
you would lose it. You could lose it.
We were afraid if Menachem find out Jean-Claude was in a costume. We were afraid of that. So the lawyer we had, he said to us, because he said 25, 25, 25. Okay, the deal. $25,000, 25,000 for the second, 25 for the third.
Oh, okay. You think you go up with each movie?
25, 50, 75.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah, sure.
But we didn't give a fuck. We just wanted to do the movie. We said to the lawyer, no, it's okay, 25, 25. We didn't want to lose time. We just wanted to
just want him to sign it. Yeah, sure.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was very stressful. And then when we were in Puerto Vallarta, I mean, we just wanted to get the fuck out of there because we wanted to quickly go do Bloodsport. So we had to find a solution. And Carl Withers, you know Carl Withers, the one who played up.
Yeah, of course.
He's the one who helped us because we got to be friends with him because we stayed there 6 weeks, right?
Wow.
He has that costume red, you know, big, like puffy, like this, you know, in him. That was just for the special effect. You know, when you see Predator, all the transparency, that was him. That, you know, all the transparent, you know,
yeah,
you see like the jungle transparency, like something, but you don't see. So basically, that was the costume for that. Then after they gave us the real costume, which we went to Boss Film to do the whole cast of the whole body, the whole face, everything. That was a tough one. It was rubber, thick rubber, brother. I mean, with the heat in Puerto Vallarta was not easy. I got knocked out by the mosquitoes. One day, the doctor had to come. Jean-Claude called the doctor to give me a shot because I passed out. You know, that was like mosquitoes like this in my back. They in the jungle. Many people got sick. Many people. And we have some stories there, other stories. Anyway, man, we had different stories there. But let's go on.
But how did you guys get out of Predator? Because I heard two different things.
That's what I'm talking about. Carl Withers.
Dylan! You son of a bitch.
We become friends with him, right? He knew our problem. We wanted to keep it confidential, of course, and I felt we could trust him. He said, listen, don't quit, get fired. Find a solution to get fired, but don't quit, because Joel Silver is Joel Silver, you know, very famous producer. He won actually best Oscar of best producer 1 year. So I said, Jean-Claude, you know what we're going to do? As soon as John McTiernan say action, you fall down. That's all. He says action, fall down. And then that's what we did. You know? So once he had his costume, we put his costume on and all that. See him in the picture putting his costume on. I was helping those other people from Boss Film. Basically, then as soon as John McTiernan showed him what he has to do, it was quite dangerous with that costume. Actually, other problem we were afraid of, he break his legs.
Yeah.
And then we are, okay? We are fucked for Bloodsport, trust me.
Yeah, sure.
Will know the reality.
Mm-hmm.
He's just in a costume. So he just say action, and Jean-Claude does 1-2 step, fall down. Boom. Then again. Then they say, okay, go rest, because like that costume cost $1 million at that time. $1 million, that costume.
Wow.
Very expensive. That's what we heard. That's what they told us. Because they, you know, about that costume, you have the other costume before with the special effect, with like 10 people working on this, and for a long time. Anyway, something happened in the lunchtime, which helped us also. But Joel Silver, I'm telling you, is not an easy man. What happened in the lunchtime, middle of the jungle? You have a guy who was in the group, that Mexican guy. And then you have the girl who was in the group. Remember, you have Carl Withers, you have, of course, Schwarzenegger, you have a few guys, you have Shane Black. Shane Black, who was killed the first in the group with the glasses. He's the one, Shane Black. Why he came there to do that part? He was working on a screenplay. He's a screenwriter.
Mm-hmm.
And Joel Silver gave him a part there. But he played on that, he worked on Lethal Weapon. He worked before that on the movie with Bruce Willis. What's the name? With that building, with those terrorists, remember?
Oh, you're talking about Die Hard. Die Hard.
Yes, that's Shane Black.
Mm-hmm.
Remember well, he's the one. Anyway, he's a writer, and he's the one who did that part. As I said to you, we were lunchtime, and Elpidia, remember that Mexican girl in the she did a movie before with Richard Gere, and in a bed where she was nude, right? And something was doing a joke on the set, and they ripped the picture, they took out Richard Gere, and they leave her nude with someone else from the set, something like that. And they give the picture, and she went crazy. She went crazy. Why do you do that? And then she jumped on him. She scratched him. I remember Schwarzenegger was there, Carl Weathers was there. You know, and Joel Silver is the one who came in. He came in to stop her, and she turned on him.
Mm.
And when she turned on him, I jumped on her, and I grabbed her next to the tree, palmerate there. And she was trying to knee me, you know where? She was going for my balls.
Yeah, sure.
I was going like this. I was going like this. I was going like this, you know, on the side. And then I just was saying, you're going to screw up your career, please. You know what you're doing? Please come down, come down. I was squeezing, you know, for her to come down. And then later on, she thanked me. And then Joel Silver came and thanked me. And people were saying to me, it's very, very rare when Joel Silver thanks somebody. At that time, in same set, same place, we have a mobile home, right?
Mm.
I'm resting, and I hear screaming. I hear screaming, and I hear also the voice of Jean-Claude.
Wow, this story is really getting interesting, and the thing that makes it better is how comfortable I am watching it. So guys, do yourself a favor, like mentioned, get this EWIN Racing Gaming Chair linked in the description below. I'll save you 20%. Use my discount code VS. Get one of these, so when you're watching videos in the future, you're going to be extra comfortable, man. Anyway, back to the story.
I hear screaming, and I hear also the voice of Jean-Claude, and the voice of another guy, a Mexican guy, who actually was a chauffeur, who was taking actors coming back and going back from the hotel. So when I see the window on the mobile home, and I see Jean-Claude pushed him, he goes, and then the guy has a big knife, you know, those knives to cut those things in the jungle, you know?
Yeah, the machetes, yeah.
And then I see him taking out and going for Jean-Claude. I saw red. I opened the door of my mobile home. I don't know how I did, but I jumped a long way, you know, to him. I just jumped on him. He was going for Jean-Claude, and me, I jumped on him. I jumped on his back. Dropped him, and took the knife out. Bam, bam. I was like so pissed. And then Jean-Claude saw, and some other people, they come stop me. And then I saw red, you know, and then whatever happened after. And then, of course, that helped also, because what happened with Joel Silver, and then they know the story, and then they fired the guy, and then time goes by. Same thing. Jean Martin say action. He fall down. Action. He fall down. They said they cannot keep going like this. They cannot keep going like this. So they called us in the office, and then Joel Silver said, "We cannot keep going like this. It's not going to work." We were doing like we were very sad, but inside we were so fucking happy.
Sure.
So we got fired, and they hired another guy. with the same costume, and he fucking broke his leg. Because also, it was on the size of Jean-Claude. That's one. So it's not the same size. And it was the dangerous thing he was supposed to do. He broke his legs. Then after, they brought the tall guy, and they changed completely the costume.
Yeah.
This is the story.
Yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, you guys wanted to get fired. Let me just ask one thing. I don't know where they came up with this. This is from, did you guys know a guy named Craig Baxley who was over there?
Oh my God. When? In Puerto Vallarta?
Yeah, because he wrote in this book, by the way. Look at this, Mohammed. He wrote in this book about Van Damme. He said Van Damme tried on the $10,000 Predator head, but there was something nobody realized. He was claustrophobic, which you mentioned earlier. And then this thing says Van Damme immediately yanked off the head, slammed it down, shattered it completely, and Joel Silver fired him on the spot and said, "You're never going to work in this town again." That's not true.
Absolutely not true, brother.
I wonder when people come up with these kind of stories.
I can even not say that when you just people, you know, the only thing I can do is say it's the story.
Yeah.
No, after it's you have to understand when you hear a story, which one you think would be, you know, logical. That's all. So no. The one who said that, it's on Bloodsport. Mark Dissal said exactly what you said to Jean-Claude, made not in Puerto Vallarta, not in Hunter Predator. When we were in Hong Kong, in Bloodsport, because Jean-Claude is extremely difficult to work. But don't forget, Jean-Claude was always careful with the food, man. Anybody will go fucking crazy. I mean, it's not easy, you know, to be careful with the diet and, you know, because to stay always, me, I eat, you know, I have no problem. But he's like, needs to be like his body. Look at his body. You don't have that body just like that. You need to be careful. And when you be careful with the food, you can become very quickly, upset, pissed off.
Yeah,
that
hungry,
difficult to be working with. So, I mean, that's and it was difficult. It was difficult. And many times, of course, Mark Dissal was coming to me because I was saving the situation just because it's my childhood friend. The only one who really could speak with him, it was me. So yes, one time he said that. Dissal said that to Jean-Claude, you will never work again in this town. You think you're already a movie star. You're nothing. And of course, we were nothing yet there. Bloodsport. When we were doing Bloodsport, we were nothing. Until Bloodsport came out, when we finished, then that's where he came back, Mark Dissal, with Kickboxer because of the success of Bloodsport.